What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 recent returns that I got back through the mail with autograph requests, and I'm going to profile each of those players. So we're going to jump right into this first one. This first one is postmarked from Nashville, Tennessee. It is former Baltimore Oriole outfielder Ken Gerhart on 3 regular cards and, of course, my all-time Orioles collection. So 2 of these are rookie cards. That's an 87 Topps Traded and an 87 Donruss and an 89 Score. So let me tell you about Ken Gerhart and his career in baseball. Gerhart, born in Charleston, South Carolina, played his college baseball at Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He was drafted by the Baltimore Orioles in the 5th round of the 1982 MLB draft. After signing his professional contract, he started the year with the Orioles rookie ball affiliate, where he batted a respectable .259 and hit 12 home runs that year for the Orioles rookie ball affiliate. Well, in 1983, he was promoted to Single A, and in 130 games, he cracked 31 home runs, posting a .273 batting average for the Orioles that year in Single A. The next year, he would split time between Single A and Double A. He wouldn't hit as many home runs, but he did hit 19 home runs that season for the Orioles, splitting time between both of those affiliates. In 1985, he appeared in just 68 games. I'm assuming an injury probably cut his season short, where he hit 17 home runs that year. Well, in 1986, they challenged him at Triple A, and in 124 games, he found his form, and he hit 28 home runs and batted .274 for the Orioles AAA affiliate. This would get him a September call-up on September 14th, 1986. And at 25 years old, Gerhart would appear in 20 games to end the remainder of the season for the Orioles. Well, in 1987, being that he had such success the previous year, he did make the Orioles starting lineup. He kind of split time. He was kind of like a platoon type outfielder, 4th outfielder type, and he appeared in 92 games for the Orioles in 1987 and hit 14 home runs that season for them. Well, unfortunately, in 1988, he would appear in 103 games. However, he would get off to a slow start, just posting a .195 batting average for the season and posting 9 home runs. Well, according to his Wikipedia page, Gerhart was actually injured by a pitch that hit him in the wrist, and he just really could not recover from that injury. So, at just 27 years old, little did he know, after his wrist injury, that would be the last time he would ever play in Major League Baseball again. In the offseason, between 1988 and 89, right before spring training, the Orioles decided to ship him to the San Francisco Giants for a minor league trade. Trying to come back from his wrist injury, Ken played in Double A and Triple A that season in 109 games, but just could not put it together for the Giants that year. The following year, in 1990, he would go to the Cleveland Indians, and just after 4 games with the Indians, he decided to hang up the cleats and retire from baseball at 29 years old. So, this individual showed some very great promise. You know, his obviously rookie season when he hit those 14 home runs. And if it weren't for that wrist injury, who knows? You know, Gerhart might have went down as one of the, premier outfielders from that era for the Orioles. Not that that's saying much. They didn't have a whole lot in the outfield at that time, but 14 home runs, is a pretty good number for a rookie. His first full season, and I know he was up briefly before that for 20 games, but we'll move on to the next one. All right, so this next one I've never gotten before, and this is one of my favorites growing up as a kid. And this is former Texas Ranger Pete O'Brien on 1, as well as a Seattle Mariner, makes 2. The third is a Cleveland Indian, and another Texas Ranger card. So let me tell you about Pete O'Brien and his career in baseball. Born in Santa Monica, California, he was the youngest of seven children. O'Brien was raised in the Pebble Beach, Monterey area of California's Central Coast and graduated from Carmel High School in 1976. Neither drafted nor offered a scholarship out of high school, he played a year at Monterey Peninsula College and then transferred to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. After his junior season in 1979 out of Nebraska, he was selected in the 15th round of the amateur draft by the Texas Rangers. After signing with the Rangers, he appeared in 50 games in 1979 for their rookie ball affiliate. The following year, he was promoted to Single A, appearing in 134 games, and he responded by batting .295 and hitting 17 home runs that season. The following year, he was moved up to Double A, where he again hit 17 home runs and batted .285 at Double A. Well, as he naturally progressed, he moved up to Triple A in 1982, and in Triple A he would post even bigger numbers, batting .310 and hitting 25 home runs in 1982 in Triple A. Well, with such monstrous numbers in AAA, he would be a September call-up as well, and he would make his major league debut on September 3rd, 1982. The following year in 1983, he won the starting position at first base out of spring training, and he responded by hitting .237 and hitting 8 home runs his first full season in the majors. Well, he would progress upward for the Rangers the following year in 1984, and in 142 games, he would hit 18 home runs and bat .287 while manning first base for the Rangers. The following year, 1985, he would appear in 159 games, hit 22 home runs and bat .267. 1986 would yield him 23 home runs, the same with 1987 with respectable batting averages. However, his numbers did slip in 1988 where he just hit 16 home runs and batted .272. Well, after the 88 season, this was a pretty big transaction in the history of the Texas Rangers and the Cleveland Indians. He was traded along with Oddibe McDowell to the Cleveland Indians for Julio Franco. Yes, the Julio Franco that would later become a batting champion and man second base for a couple seasons for the Rangers. Well, he would just spend one season with Cleveland and appear in 155 games and bat .260 and hit 12 home runs while manning first base for the Indians that year. Well, after his one season with the Indians, he decided to go free agent and he would sign a deal with the Seattle Mariners. Well, the Mariners, he actually struggled a little bit his first year there, just hitting 5 home runs. Well, in 1991, he would appear in 152 games and would appear to be getting his form back where he hit 17 home runs while manning first base for the Mariners that season. The following year, at age 34 in 1992, he would just bat .222, but he would hit 14 home runs while playing first base for the Mariners. By the time the 1993 season rolled around, he was a platoon type hitter. And after just appearing in 72 games for the Mariners that season, they decided to release him on July 21st, 1993. This will be the last time that Pete would play in the major leagues. At the age of 35, the young Tino Martinez had pretty much taken over the full-time duties at first base for the Mariners, and his roster move was very simple to make room for Edgar Martinez, returning from the DL. So in a 12-season career, Pete played in 1,567 games, posted a .261 career batting average, hit 169 home runs and 736 RBIs. His career highs, as mentioned, were .290 in batting average in 1986, 23 home runs in both 86 and 87, and 92 RBIs in 1985. So very happy to add Mr. O'Brien to the collection. That is his rookie card, I believe, up there in the top left, and 83 tops traded. So we'll move on to the next one, and we'll share that individual with you. Alright, so the next one comes back and from former Cleveland Indian / Los Angeles Dodger / Atlanta Brave / San Francisco Giant outfielder Brett Butler, And Brett Butler actually was one of my favorite players growing up because during that time I loved the Giants, the San Francisco Giants, and he was the leadoff hitter on RBI Baseball too, if I recall, for the San Francisco Giants. So I always played as Brett Butler, the first guy leading off for the '89 Giants, if I recall. So let me tell you about Brett Butler and his career in baseball. Butler grew up in Libertyville, Illinois, where he went to Libertyville High School, but was not noticed and drafted after playing high school baseball. Upon graduating, he announced he wanted to play college baseball, however, and he wound up making the team at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. While at Southeastern Oklahoma State University, the outfielder led the team to championships during all 3 years at Southeastern, including NAIA National Runner-Up finish in 1977. He was twice named the NAIA All-American Baseball Team. Butler was the first Savages player to hit 400 in a season with a .439 batting average in 1977. He set career records with 31 home runs, 209 runs, 15 triples, 220 hits, 162 walks, and a career batting average of .394 while at Southeastern Oklahoma. After attending Southeastern Oklahoma, Butler was drafted in the 23rd round of the 1979 amateur draft by the Atlanta Braves. The Braves were building a contending team with players like Dale Murphy, Bob Horner, and Glenn Hubbard after years of losing, but they lacked a true leadoff hitter with speed. After playing briefly in the minor leagues for the Braves organization, he made his major league debut 2 years later on August 20th, 1981. Butler would appear in 40 games in 1981, and the following year, in 1982, would be used primarily as a platoon-type player, appearing in 89 games for the Braves that season. Well, the following year, in '83, the Braves gave him the job, and he responded by batting .281, leading the league in triples with 13, and stealing 39 bases that year for the Braves. Well, despite his full-time success with the Braves in 1983, the Braves decided to ship him in a package along with Brooke Jacoby, who would become a longtime Cleveland Indians regular, to complete a deal that got Lynn Barker to the Atlanta Braves. Well, in Cleveland, Butler didn't have anybody blocking him to play center field there, so his first year in Cleveland, he appeared in 159 games, batted .269, and stole 52 bases for the Indians that season. Butler would continue to play for the Indians through 1987, being their leadoff hitter, and after the 1987 season, he would sign with the San Francisco Giants starting in 1988. Well, Butler would be the leadoff hitter for the Giants for their run in 1989 for the World Series that eventually would lose to the Oakland A's. The following year, at age 33 in 1990, Butler would have hands down probably one of his best years, batting .309 and stealing 51 bases, leading off for the Giants and collecting a league-high 192 hits. Well, after the 1990 season, the Giants decided to part ways with Brett, and that's when he signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers. At 34 years old, Butler appeared in 161 games for the Dodgers, posting a .296 batting average, stealing 38 bases, making his first All-Star game at the age of 34 years old. The following year, he would appear in 157 games and 156 games respectively in 1992 and 93 for the Dodgers, and then 1994 happened where he appeared in 111 games, and the strike-shortened season basically ended his career as a Los Angeles Dodger at that time. He was granted free agency by the Dodgers and decided to take his talents across the country and sign a one-year deal with the New York Mets. Well, at this point, he was primarily used as a backup outfielder. Well, that year with the Mets, he appeared in 90 games for them and posted a .311 batting average in the 90 games that he was with New York. But on August 18th, 1995, the Los Angeles Dodgers called again, and they traded to get Brett Butler back. So the 38-year-old Butler returned to Los Angeles, where he finished out the year appearing in 39 games that season, posting a .274 batting average for the Dodgers that year. Well, in 1996, he would return to Los Angeles at 39 years old. He would appear in just 34 games, very limited duty, posting a .267 batting average. Finally, at the age of 40 years old, Butler again would come back to the Dodgers for the 1997 season, and he would play in 105 games for the Dodgers that year, posting a .283 batting average and stole 15 bases in his year 40 season in the major leagues. In total, Brett Butler played 17 years in the major leagues. He appeared in over 2,000 games, 2,213. He stole 558 bases and has a lifetime .290 batting average. Not bad for a kid that didn't get drafted out of high school and went to little-known Southeastern Oklahoma State University to play college baseball. Actually, immediately after his career, the following year in 1998, he became an assistant coach of the Duluth Youth Baseball and Softball Association. He would then move on to the Arizona Diamondbacks, where he would be a coach there. In 2005, after some time at the major leagues, he would go down to the Diamondbacks development organizations, and he would coach the Lancaster Jethawks, the Mobile Bay Bears, and the Reno Aces. After his time with the Diamondbacks, he would then move on to the Miami Marlins, where he would be a third base outfield coach for the Marlins for a brief period of time. So, again, one of my favorite players growing up in the 80s and 90s. This guy just speaks volumes about how hard he had to work to get to where he was in baseball. Very happy to add his autograph to the collection. I have gotten him before in the past, but very happy to add two guys I had never gotten before, and Pete O'Brien on his rookie card in his very brief career with the Cleveland Indians. Also very happy to add Ken Gerhart on his rookie card. A couple rookie cards there, as well as his all-time Orioles card. So another one for the all-time Orioles collection. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I look forward to your comments below, and as always, I want to say happy collecting.